And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, what should I say, to this wonderful evening, Friday evening, with me, Fresh Thanatos, and it's really special today, because I have not like QG on my side, or Lorik, or Daniel, or whatsoever. No, I have maybe the best, the most beautiful, the best co-caster of all time. He's probably only here once, so please have a nice warm welcome for Nobody's Nuts Junior, the squirrel. Isn't he beautiful? Yeah, he is. It's such a beautiful boy, right? Yeah, and with that, we have just a wonderful time together. I see what you did there, Rigi. We have some sound effects sometimes if the squirrel wants to talk. It's perfect. Yeah, whatever. We go for it. And yeah, today we have a wonderful series. Maybe we can get the bracket just really quick. Because today is the Friday, September 15th. So we have a Rift SLOTHS against FULLCLEAR. Rift SLOTHS, of course, sadly, or whatever, not sadly, but I mean, they lost to Pertinax 3-1. And then, of course, FULLCLEAR got stomped by Dynasty. And that's really funny, because FULLCLEAR and Rift SLOTHS last season are the first and second placed team normally in the regular spring split. So to see them both now in the lower bracket is really funny, actually. And both lost in a rather dominant way. So maybe Rift SLOTHS is now coming from behind and just crushing the field like they did in the past. Or maybe they struggle now. Who knows? And FULLCLEAR, of course, wants to at least win some games, I would assume. So we will probably have a really, really hard time for both of those teams to beat each other. I mean, FULLCLEAR last time got stomped 3-0 by Rift, and then got stomped 3-0 by Dynasty in the playoffs. So they have to do something in those playoffs now. Anyway, let's get back to me and to Nobody's Nuts, of course. And yeah, let's wait for the champ select to occur, because then we will have a banger, hopefully, with our boy Adafla on the bot lane. I mean, one of the main reasons that Rift SLOTHS maybe lost the series against Pertinax was that Adafla sadly couldn't play the whole series. And with him, a big shot calling aspect got lost, and one of their better players, of course. So that can usually interrupt a strong team if one piece is missing. And Pertinax, which had a really, really good run so far. I mean, they never hit playoffs, but still are in the promotion tournament. I mean, that's insane. But I mean, and they played really strongly against Rift SLOTHS. They played really strongly against Dynasty on Tuesday. So we definitely have a good time. Anyway, just for Regie, Pertinax and Dynasty are, of course, wrong in the top corners. And, of course, it's 0-0. Just to you, Rift SLOTHS is on the left side, and FULLCLEAR, of course, on the right side. And with that, let's go into the draft. Galop loses his Rek'Sai already. It's one of his most played champions in this split so far. Of course, last split he was a Hecarim OTP, so you might see some bans against him there as well. Then of course we still have Vesture on top lane, the Kled main, Nemera, a really good, wonderful Victor player from last split, and then of course Nomad and Skyounage. And on the Rift SLOTHS side, we have Lex, Shredded, Bukan, Adafla, who is back, and Risen. And with that, Jarvan got banned out by Shredded. I think he played the same champ over and over in the last series. I can't remember which one, but I think they played a lot of an aggressive play style. Mainly because in the normal season he played a lot of tanks, the Maokai, the Sejuani, but meta at least shifted a little bit. Xao, Jarvan got banned, so those aggressive junglers which Shredded loves to play. Gunzo. And on the other side, Rel, of course, as a flex pick, but also as a pretty good option for both Scarolage and Galop, who could both definitely play it. Vesture now loses his Clef on the top lane, and there's Kindred, so 3 target bans actually against Shredded, which is insane. And they definitely don't want to give him anything. There's a Renekton first pick by Alex, so just a solid first pick, just a solid one. Good blind pick. Does not really show too much of the team comp. You can play on the weak side, you can play at strong side, you can play at a dive comms, and you get dive comms in wombo combos. I mean, Renekton is just one of the most solid picks probably at the moment. On the other side, Nomad. No goes for Seri, which is his most played champion this split so far. So he definitely is on a good pick for him. I mean, last split he played a lot of Samira, and now it's his Seri. And then Nemera actually blind picks Orianna. So they do not answer so far on top lane, which means they blind picked mid lane and blind picked ADC. I could have seen at least a top lane pick in my opinion, but maybe it shows too much. And by the way, I don't know if you can change it, but those logos are still wrong, but thank you for clearing the names and the zeros. There's Nico. For Bukan, I think we saw it in the regular split and in the playoffs a little bit from him. And of course Kaiser for Dafla, who can definitely play it. The Pro Kaiser, the Dive Kaiser. He has a solid 60% win rate on her in solo queue, so Dafla definitely on a strong champion. Plenty of AP damage so far, so maybe they want to go for an AD jungler actually. 3 are out, or 4 maybe with Rek'Sai. So maybe we see some sort of a Viego or Kayn or Nocturne ban just to, or maybe even Graves just to ban out some more AD options. Just that's with SLOTHS maybe have a bad damage split. Christen's Nautilus, of course, strong as ever, needing to get banned out. Galop on his famous Hecarim, so full clear at the moment. Definitely tries to create something. Wombo combo potential. Orianna, ball on Hecarim. He jumps in, fears everybody, shockwave hits everybody. That could be a strong one.
Lame.
Rakan got banned. No more Rakan from Scarolage. And it will be just for the viewers out there to cast a whole best of 5 as a solo caster. It's rough, so please excuse my little breaks sometimes, and I will be relaxing my voice a little bit just to have the voice left for potentially 5 games, that I not kill myself. So just sometimes enjoy the silence. That's all I want to say so far. There's a Viego ban, so at least one more AD ban, which I mentioned. And Shen on top lane for Vesture, which would have been a great pick actually, just for the Hecarim diving in. But good band. And now the question is, what do they pick for top lane? Malphite is a solid option, Ornn is a solid option. Poppy would have been playable, but it's Malphite. So more dive, more wombo combo with Orianna. A little bit more AP split for Hecarim and Seri to shine. And support still for the counter pick, so you can maybe get a good lane there for full clear. To maybe get Rift's loss out of that comfort zone. There's Leona, which get blind picked. There could then be a fresh Braum, something, just to hard counter Leona, to stop her from diving. Maybe even an Alistair, something like that, from Skirnage. He plays sometimes Alistair, so that could be something. Fresh could be something. Braum could be something. I don't know if he actually plays Braum. But Braum isn't too difficult. And Shredded goes back to the tank duty from his normal season, together with Renekton on the top lane. They have a lot of CC. Of course, in general, a good frontline now for Adafla and for Khan to shine. Like I said, Alistair could be a solid option. And there he is. So, the conclusion of this draft. What is my conclusion? I would say that maybe FULLCLEAR even has the better draft. They have a good spot lane matchup. They have the Wombo combo. They will suffer on top side, but actually just play for team fights, just play for the Wombo. Gallop is on his probably best champion. The Mara is on a good comfort pick as well. So FULLCLEAR definitely with a strong draft. I wouldn't even say that they got countered in mid lane. Top lane got neutralized. So Shredded's not really. Oh no, I'm alone. Where's my scroll? Don't do that to me. Thank you. Yeah, but we will probably go into the in-game as soon as we can. But yeah, nobody's nuts, of course. Probably liking the Rift Sloth draft a little bit more. There's a wild boar, there's a Renekton, there's a crocodile, so to say. So a lot of animal stuff. Nico, of course, friend of all the animals. She can transform in all of them. So nobody's nuts. Definitely picking blue side for the better draft. Too many animals. And yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, the frontline is good, teamfight is good, so nothing to be hated on the Rift side. And I think they just need to tank some confidence, especially Shredded after just getting crushed in the last series. They now need some simple wins, some simple comfort, just to get back on track. To then maybe like face Pertinax again a second time later. I think on Saturday. Is it Saturday? I guess. Because of course Pertinax is waiting in the lower brackets. They got eliminated by Dynasty 3-1. Yeah, it was 3-1. No, 3-2, right? It was a best of 5. And Pertinax even leaded it 2-0. So it was a good series. I think they look hungry. And they might have the chance to take down both of them. But now with Adafla back in the business, we might see something from him actually. But let's wait for the in-game to proceed. Normally we need to wait 3 minutes, of course. Sometimes we cut it a little bit shorter, so let's wait for it. Top lane, of course, could be a focal point, at least pre-6. Malphite is pretty damn good gankable, especially with double stun, with knock-up from Sejuani, so we might see an early gank top lane, we might see some ganks mid lane, especially with the Nico stun. Playing around bot lane could be difficult. But there we are, in-game, of course. And if Regime can maybe give me some in-game sound as well, that would be beautiful. But here we are. To Summoner's Rift. It was on time, thank you, Rishi. And 30 seconds until minions spawn. Yeah. Because with some music in the background, with some sound effects, if I do some breaks, if I do some silent stuff, then you hear at least something. It's always a good thing. Yeah, exactly. Nobody's not exactly. I don't know what's happening for me. Because for me, maybe I need to close some tabs or something. So, we're in game. Malphite is dancing, like he always does. And there comes the invade, like Shredded normally do. I mean, he always goes for those invades on Sejuani, but they spot him. And of course, with Leona, with the reset for with double auto attack basically for Sejuani, they can definitely go for something. But Leona is quite deep, and now they trade against it. In the meantime, Renekton, Hikarim actually starts Wolves, and that invade did not really work out for Rislos. Good trades here by Bukan actually, getting a lot of damage in. Normally Orianna is some sort of a lane bully, but against Nico it kinda hurts. But yeah, Shredded maybe a little bit too over eager and too telegraphed. I mean, this sort of this kind of invade was something that he does in every single game, basically on Sejuani, on Maokai. So some teams at least respect it for now, and he is now just a little bit behind in like time. Not that he loses the game for it, but it hurts. I mean, Hikarim is already done with his whole bot side, while Sejuani now starts with his Scuttlers, not Scuttlers, but Birdies. So he has a whole camp advantage, basically, in terms of time. And even some engage there, but Leona's Zenith plate goes deep. But nothing really happens. And more trading from Khan in the mid lane. Even has maybe 1 minion lead. No, Leona, if Orianna can't secure them. Oh, he flashes on them, but he can't connect with the last auto attack and he gets solo killed. What a madman. Sad for Bukan. He played it almost perfectly. He wanted to do this. He wanted to go for the solo bolo, but actually got solo boloed in the process. Turret damage was too high. Nemero actually could have shielded himself, and after the shield, there was just not enough damage left in the tank for Bukan. Was a good try actually. Oh, flash combo needs to get flashed instantly, but there comes some trades, and like I said, always the support who engages usually loses. So there was a lot of damage coming back. But at least Adafla needing to flash, while Nomad just needed to ghost, I guess, or is it cleanse? I think it's cleanse. Hard to tell, both are blue, we can't see it right. But I think it was cleanse against Leona. It makes sense against Sejuani, it makes sense, so no ghost probably. But yeah, early game so far is a little bit better for FULLCLEAR actually. They prevented this early jungle invade. They prevented a really aggressive play by Bukan. And yeah, just a bot lane fight, which was a little bit messy for them. But in the end, they got the flash, and that's all they need, because if Galop now comes bot lane, then they can just kill Dafla, right? My stream is somehow lagging a little bit. I don't know if it's on me, if it's on Rishi, if Rishi can just send me a few pixels less or something. I don't know. Maybe the bitrate will consider itself to be fixed then, but I don't know. Just for me, sometimes it's staggering a little bit. But maybe it's just my internet. Who knows? German Telekom and stuff, right? I mean, we Germans usually say Telekom is not good, right? Or the internet in Germany, as per usual, is not good, right? So Maybe it's just my internet. I would never play it on Rishi. Or on Luxembourg as a whole. Yeah. But yeah, early game, besides this level 1, level 2 kill, our Shockwave actually hits. And maybe the second solo kill. He flashes on him. What a play by Numero, actually. Getting the Shockwave done, flash, because he knew Bukan has no flash. Wonderfully played, and Numero is actually in a good spot to maybe carry his team with Shockwaves later on. So Bukan actually gets outplayed so far in the mid lane. Who trades top lane, no mana for Festival, but he can just run out. Like, uses his ultimate kinda aggressively. Cannot secure something. Both top laners recall, we have a small CS lead there on the top lane. But actually nothing noticeable. Or flash, they try to kill Orianna because she has no flash, and that's the shutdown for Bukan. That is a good play. I mean, they just used the flashless Orianna here for a good play. They have double, triple CC, quadra CC, so if one stun lands, she cannot escape. I mean, it cost Krisen the flash, it costs him the ignite, but that's totally fine. Oh, but there's Hecarim, he get caught out in his own jungle, needs to flash and ghost and ult. But he gets actually out. Sejuani's still around the corner. That's the reason why Galot needs to recall at the turret. And I even get Sky Onage to him. But they can't protect the blue buff without their jungler, so well played by ESLOL. They get back. But we already see why like this Malphite pick usually is just a neutralizing pick. I mean, he does not really fall behind in CS, right? And I mean, it's 10 CS here, but there's actually 3 creeps left, so it's just one wave in creeps, and one wave is basically nothing. The next gank here coming on Orianna, can I kill her? Actually, with the Shockwave, there comes a lot of damage to Bukan, but he is dead. And now Galop is coming, but just gets stunned and needs to stop this Herald, so a second good roam there by Krisen. Just knowing when and where to be. And with those 2 deaths, actually, Numero now is behind. Being behind 2 waves, basically. And then there was a shutdown, so Bukan maybe having 300 gold more now. Which is essentially really huge, and of course that's something you need to know. There's assist gold. So Numero did solo kill him twice, while Bukan actually had assists with him, so there's even a little bit more gold for his team now. But Galop out farms Shredded, so there's some gold essentially that's at full clear they had now, so it's basically essentially even on both sides. But now the Herald gets taken down by full clear. Even a little roam by Scourge. He tries to protect his mid laner, but Numero will die against all the CC. This is the third kill. And there's even maybe a bot lane dive, but good Zarya escape. So well played by Nomad, just surviving the roam of his support. And sadly the roam couldn't secure it. So it was basically a wasted roam. Which actually led to Nomad now losing his cleanse. I mean, who knows if he would have lost the cleanse even with Alistar. But that's something they can try to play around. Just catching Nomad out of guard. Herald is on Gallop so far, so he maybe is looking for bot lane or mid lane Herald. Top lane Herald would be the weakest, just because there's only Malphite. So maybe he juggles from bots to from top to bots and then places the Herald or something. If he even takes down the birds, who knows? At the moment I think, okay, he goes to birds. Jake of course is up. And because botlane has now prio, because Nomad and Skyonage are going base so far, nobody can steal this Drake. So it's a good Drake timing here by Shredded. And even a plating there on top lane. Golub is around the corner. You have plenty of health, actually, plenty of mana. I mean, there is always the possibility. Oh no, they tried to kill Nomad, but Nomad is pretty tanky, and of course he has Alistar. Top lane Herald actually gets placed down, but there's a full engage by Lex, but he cannot really fight it. Wukan is on its way, so maybe if they fight back, maybe if they overstay, or maybe if they want to tower dive. Oh, he face checks it, he gets stunned, he gets locked up, but he ults out. Good play there by Vesture, and Lex actually flashed for it. Which is quite sad, but at least they stopped the Herald. And like I said, normally top lane Herald is the weakest of the options, but he goes on to Nomad, but Nomad is out of this scenario. Now Scourge got ignited, he is pretty tanky with his ultimate, but survives. Yeah, like I said, top lane Herald maybe was the weakest option. It's just Malphite. But it's gold nonetheless. And of course, Skyonage was in the corner anyway. Gallop. Not Skyonage. There's botlane engaged against Nomad, he just dies. There's no accent, there's no cleanse. And without cleanse, there's no chance. But there's Gallop now trying to kill Adafla here, still has the killer instinct, but he is too strong. Look at that, look, oh, but he gets peeled. Oh man, Gallop with the try, but he instantly dies. What a sad world here for FULLCLEAR, but a good start by ESLOL. 2 kills now even on Adafla. And he still had flash, so it wasn't even that close. I don't know, I'm so tired, I'm sorry. I'm always like yawning. So sad. It was just a long day. And I actually talked a lot in the last couple of hours. And there's the full engage. Now onto FSJ. He still has the unstoppable force. So he gets out of the situation. Those top lane ganks are usually sad, because usually Malphite gets out of those situations. He has no ultimate and now he gets engaged. The question is, what can Gallop do to his protection? Basically nothing. Oh, the mid lane play, they might kill the Merit the fourth time actually. Well played by Bukan and by the rest of the squad. I mean, that's really important, just to get your mid lane ahead, just to get your Nico ahead. Nico is such an important factor in all of those in all of those fights. So much CC, so much damage. It's your AP win condition basically. Adafla goes for 80 build, so no more AP damage essentially. I mean, you have some AP damage by Sejani, some by Leona of course, but like he is the only real AP threat so far. So just ganking him, ganking an unmobile target like Orianna is definitely a good idea. There's the engage now on Krisen. The question is, can they kill Krisen? He is pretty tanky so far, but Galop is pretty strong just from the damage. Krisen tries to run, but Krisen is dead. Galop just overtakes him. And now even steals the red buff, but in the meantime, Herald gets taken down by Shredded. The question is, can FULLCLEAR maybe take down Drake? Because Drake is now spawned, and at the moment Shredded is at least still placed at the Herald. And with that, it's the second Drake. And now they try to kill him again, and with the Pop Blossom they get him. Oh good, Shockwave, and with the Face Rush he might survive, but no, there's just the 5th kill of Bukan in this game. Galop tries to flank it, Galop maybe tries to kill Bukan, but no, he just wants to clear down the wave. But there's the Tower Dive against Gaonet, she gets stunned up, he ults, but there's a teleport, now coming down. Fawn fetch him and they flash on him, they try to kill Nomad and he is dead, but there's the Malphite, really good ultimate there to lock them both up. There's the next knockup from Alistar, so it's the first shutdown against Adafla, but in the meantime, top lane turret, mid lane turret fails, and with Renekton they have enough damage to maybe even kill more, but now it's just Alistar, so it's a 2-for-1, but actually a whole tower turret falls for that, so well played by with SLOTHS. And now Krisen maybe got find out. Lex as well needs to run out, but there's Nemera and there's Galop, and they try to take down Lex, and Lex probably don't get out, so 3. So it's basically a 2-for-2 then. And oh man, I'm so tired. It's so sad. I just sometimes close my eyes and then just don't talk, and then if I hear action, I know you Junior, I know, but it's yeah, I'm just basically I woke up, needed to go to work, did over in German we call it Überstunde, but I don't know. It's I did more than I needed to do in my overtime. That's the word. Thank you. And basically after and I did some same thing with a co-worker, and I tried to explain him GUIs and stuff, so graphical interfaces, and showed him something, and so it was a lot of talking already, and basically that made me a little bit tired probably. So yeah, I just even though it's pretty hard to say, and even though I like FULLCLEAR, I would wish a 3-0 for either of those teams. I mean, if FULLCLEAR wins 3-0, I'm fine with it as well. But also, I would be fine with a 3-0 from Rift, just for best of 5 solo is always a struggle. I mean, I can do it anyway. You guys just need to live with a Tyrant Tana. With a broken man. And of course with Squirrel, I'm sorry, nobody's nuts. You are there as well, I'm sorry. But there comes the full engage on to Gallop. Void Project lands, Void Seeker I guess. But there comes the full engage now from Skyonage. The question is, can they even kill someone? I mean, Nomad tries, Nomad has no damage. No, there's Malphite, but just 3 tanks and Nomad gives his best. But Lex maybe dies actually in the backline. Lex dies, so another kill for... the first kill actually for Nomad. That was a messy fight, but in the end it was enough. Ult von Festje, and then of course a wonderful engage by Skyonage. Granted them a lot of damage in this fight. Nemera is needed for the Wombo combo, he wasn't there. But he will be there probably. At the moment he's kind of saying, I will be back. Like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Anyway, Skyonage was a little bit too deep, but there's the Wombo combo in the face of SLOTHS, and they run them down with Nomad and with Gallop. They basically gallop to them and get another one, but there's Lex, but Lex isn't strong enough to really go in there as one unit. And with that, FULLCLEAR essentially is ahead in gold. And now even try to get down the Baron because Shredded is dead, Prison is dead, a lot of engage isn't done here, and Bukan actually isn't there. So they give away this Baron for FULLCLEAR. So they are ahead in gold even though they are behind in kills. What a play so far by FULLCLEAR. And people need to question SLOTHS at the moment. The first place team of the regular split, the first place team in the regular summer playoffs. And now SLOTHS lost to Pertinax, not even a playoffs team. And at the moment it looks like that FULLCLEAR might have a chance. And that's nothing that should easily that should be done. That's nothing you could ever imagine. And I mean, just think about it. If FULLCLEAR actually wins, that could mean that Dynasty just wins it all. I mean, they won against FULLCLEAR, they won against Pertinax, so whoever would win the other semifinal, Dynasty would be the favorite. So essentially, SLOTHS is maybe the only team to stop Dynasty. And if they even struggle against FULLCLEAR, I mean, what's happening here? I mean, it's just 2000 gold, not even, it's just the Baron buff 1500. And of course the Baron buff as a whole, which is just a timely exclusive, basically, for 3 minutes. So, after the Baron buff is wearing off, there's not really a big lead. But still, FULLCLEAR on the tracks of winning this game. Just the first one. But it would be the first step. And now they even get some bonus gold from a turret in the bot lane. And Drift's lost at the moment. A little bit clueless. Not really doing much. Not really engaging one of the side lanes, for example. Orianna's just pushing. Malphite is sometimes just pushing. No, mid lane is pushing. They are not really working with their man advantage. I mean, just look at that. There are essentially 5 people mid lane, so Orianna actually can push with Baron buff. And nobody's stopping her. Yeah, next Drake spawning in 3 minutes. Baron buff essentially just there, I think, for another minute, or maybe it's wearing off soon. Oh, there comes the full engage, maybe now onto the backline of FULLCLEAR, but they just kite away. Kristen is a little bit too deep in the backline, and with that, he is probably dead. Nomad collecting his 3rd kill. And yeah, that's all they engage. SLOTHS has no engage, they can't enter those teamfights. And with that, they just lose another turret. Baron buff is gone though, but still, it's another kill, it's another turret. It's essentially 2 mid lane turrets and a kill. With the bot lane turret, that was a really good Baron. Just think about that. It's 4,000 gold now. So plenty of gold for full clear. Who are ahead in this first game of this series. And that's nothing someone would have someone would have probably expected. I mean, tell me who would have guessed? Yeah, they win. 3-0, they stomp Rift Sloths. I don't know. There's none. It's just the first one, but at the moment it looks like the Rift Sloths have no game plan. Top lane isn't really working. I mean, Renekton can never ever go side lane and just push turrets. I mean, he will never enter the stage where he can dive, where he can kill the turrets. No, the full engage onto Nemera. I know it was Nomad, so that's something. On the meantime, there's a bot lane play. Good shockwave there from Nemera, and that's it. With Bukan now Lex flashing onto Nemera, he just flashes away, and that's probably the kill, the double kill for Galop. And with that, it's just 2 kills for 1, and Malphite actually getting a whole turret. So that's a losing play so far by Rift Sloths. At least I get mid lane turret and basically even here objective bounty. I don't know if Rift Sloths ever had objective bounty, but here it is. It's the first time for all of us. And yeah, crazy. Crazy what's happening at the moment. Crazy. And I'm eating something actually. And actually, oh man, that's really funny. Yeah, I know. Nobody's nuts. Actually, I'm eating some sort of a nut thingy. I mean, here are cashews. Yeah, I mean, yeah, cashews, yeah. It's really cool. And even sunflower thingies. So, yeah, I know you like it, I know. So, there comes the full engage, but in the end, they cannot really get something. Nemera is dead. So with that, they maybe are strong enough now to get their own Baron. I mean, Nemera, here's a big part of why they win team fights, because of the shockwaves. Now they try to get onto Sky Ownage. She still has ultimate, so he would be tanky enough. But there comes Bukan with a good ultimate onto Galop, but Galop just executed him. And now the team fight is almost losing for Rift Sloths. Nomad can just kite freely. The front line is strong enough. Sky Ownage can even disengage out of there. Nomad now with 2 kills together with his jungler. And now he can just run down the crocodile. And there is the stone. It's a double kill for Galop, and it's a Baron for full clear. And yeah, it's 6,000 gold after this Baron. It's probably 8,000 gold. And Shredded is still on the other side. But he cannot show himself because there's a ward, and so they know about him. And that's the reason why he will get chased out. Oh, Sky Ownage. Oh, he cannot survive. Oh, good dash away. So it's just a 3-second Baron for full clear. Oh man, just think about it. It's, I don't know. For the former glory, the former honor of Rift Sloths essentially breaking down into pieces. I mean, maybe the most dominant team the second division in Luxembourg, or in the Luxembourgish scene, and in Benelux as a whole. Maybe to dominate this team it has ever produced is just getting crushed at the moment. I mean, they won both regular splits. Oh, I mean, gegen Oma it was close, but still dominant. I think it was 12-1 or 14-1 or whatever, 16-1. It's 8 teams, right? So it is 14-1. No, not 4. I don't know. Anyway, good engage there. Onto it's 13-1, by the way. Anyway, and Emerald gets run down and Lex gets the kill, but in the meantime, look at the base, look at the turrets. They just fall down because you are playing against Baron. You cannot just catch someone on the side lane or you lose everything. And now they even used like Sejuani ultimate and stuff, so they cannot really get into them. Oh, Lex is teleporting, but Alistar already shoved him away. Solar Flare is hitting nothing. No Gallop goes in with Nomad. They just execute 2 at the price of 1. Kristen is also dead, and it's just a Crocodile, and the Crocodile is not enough to win the game. And with that, FULLCLEAR actually won the first game of this series. And with that, even the first game in any playoff series, they got into Division 2 because they won a series in the playoffs, but essentially in the second div, they never won a single game in playoffs, and now they won a game in the promotion tournament. What a team. Anything to say, Nobody's Nuts? Otherwise, we would go. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, perfect. And with that, with those wise words from the best color caster the Elite Series has ever produced, even better than I, and I would assume I'm a good color caster, but Mr. Nobody's Nuts is just Junior. I'm sorry, Nobody's Nuts Junior is just maybe the best. Anyway, we go into a short break to wait for the next upcoming game, FULLCLEAR against SLOTHS. Stay tuned, not but stay tuned, because that could be a historic series if SLOTHS lose a bit. So stay tuned.